Hello friends, I just finished watching Bianca Andreescu's first round win over France's Harmony Tan. It was a pretty entertaining match, all things considered. Andreescu won 6-love, 3-6, 6-1. In the third set, Andreescu was up 4-1, and Tan was serving, and she was at 40-love. And through those 3 points, it looked like Andreescu was kind of just mailing in that game, thinking probably let her go up, let her win that game, she'll be 4-2. Then she can serve, make it 5-2, goes back, say it's 5-3, and then back on serve, win the set 6-3. And then Andreescu won the point to make it 40-15, and then 40-30, and then she got it to deuce, and you could see with each subsequent point, she just kind of was like ramping up her intensity. And instead of just letting that game, which she easily could have done, just slip through and serve out the set, she actually ended up taking that game to make it 5-1, and then served out the set to win the last set 6-1. It was actually pretty cool to watch. But the reason I wanted to jump on today and record this is I watched a pre-tournament interview that Bianca did with Mark Rowe from TSN, and she said a couple things that interested me. What interested me about them is just how contrary they are to the way I see the world these days. So let me explain. The first quote that she made, she said, "Every time I come here, so many amazing memories just flood through my head." And later she finished saying, "I just feel very welcome here." So from this quote, Bianca seemed to say that being at the US Open and the feeling she's getting from this nostalgia of being the 2019 champion, from how the fans are treating her and welcoming her, is being there is creating all these great feelings for her, and she's feeling in a good space, which is great. The thing that's interesting, though, is that in fact is not where feelings come from. They don't come from memories of past victories or defeats. They don't come from fans welcoming you or jeering you. Where your feelings come from is from your thinking. And it's quite an important distinction to make, because if feelings did actually come from memories of good times or from people welcoming you, then it would be pretty difficult to go into a new place where you hadn't won before, or maybe the fans were against you. And we know for a fact in sports, we see it all the time, that the visiting team or the visiting player wins against all those odds of being booed or being in what they call a hostile environment, and they can overcome those things. So those really aren't the source of feelings at all. And the second quote I wanted to refer to from that interview, which he said near the end, was, "I really just try to focus on fixing the human being first before the tennis player." Which on the surface doesn't seem too out of sorts. You know, it's great that she's putting her humanity ahead of being a tennis player. But the thing that caught my attention there was this whole notion of fixing the human being, because it presupposes that the human being is broken, that her humanity is somehow broken and needs fixing. And what I've seen in the last 18 months, looking at the three principles, is that in fact it's impossible for us to be broken. No matter what our circumstances, no matter what situation we find ourselves in, who we really are cannot be broken, cannot be harmed. And we have mental health, we have happiness, we have perfection. We just lose sight of it sometimes. You know, the metaphor that is often used is talking about a cloudy sky, and, you know, if the sky was blue and then a storm rolls in and the clouds come in and it looks gloomy and dark, the reality is the blue sky is still there. It's just obscured by the clouds, and when the winds come and blow those clouds out of the way, voila, the blue sky is back. But the truth is the blue sky didn't go anywhere. So similarly, who we really are, being perfect and unbroken, is always there. When the storm clouds roll in of negative thinking, of contaminated thinking, we think the blue sky is gone somewhere, but in fact, we're just experiencing a storm. And if we wait long enough, that storm will pass and the blue skies will be back. If any of this sounds interesting or you're curious to learn more, let me know. I love working with athletes and parents of athletes to show them where their experience is coming from and who they really are, and to help them improve their mental fitness or psychological fitness, which results in better resilience, endurance, and creativity, and gives you an unhindered access to your innate capacities and talents and skills. So until next time, thanks for listening. Now go unleash your potential.